All right, a lawmaker actually saying, I want to warn illegals in my community when ICE agents are going to be in town and around. Can you imagine the reaction of the legal community to that? Massachusetts Bristol County Sheriff Thomas Hodgson joining us now. Sheriff, what'd you think of that?
I didn't hear what you said, Neil. I apologize.
This representative who had gone to great lengths to try to give a heads up to illegals in her district when ICE agents might be coming by. What'd you think of it?
I can't think of anything more irresponsible and more underhanded and undermining to law enforcement and to the people of that community than what this state representative did. She ought to be ashamed of herself. The state legislature ought to be looking at her for, at a minimum, ethics violations. And on top of that, I'm sure there'll be some review as to whether or not she may have compromised some investigation involving ICE.
All right. Well, we called Michelle Du Bois, this Democratic state lawmaker, in question, and we've not heard back. But the issue, again, gets back to what you're saying. It's one thing to be a sanctuary city. It's quite another to encourage illegal activity and to give a heads up to those who are here illegally when there's a legal crackdown on them.
Well, you're right, and here's the issue, the real important issue around this. She doesn't have any idea the people she's warning or what their backgrounds are. They could be gang members involved in transnational gangs, the sex trafficking that's going on, and our officers in both the federal and state, local level, we sometimes need the element of surprise to make sure that somebody's not building an arsenal waiting for us or having some heads up where one of our officers is going to get seriously injured or killed. Never mind the other issue around the threat that these people would get away that we know may be potentially harmful to people in the community, but now we'll have cover for God knows how long and how many more people to victimize.
And then you would wonder about whether you would even be cooperating or working with, at least in a public sense, ICE agents, right, Sheriff? If you know there's a good possibility that word would get back to a representative like this one who would then telegraph what you're about to do.
Right, and that's look, this representative and everybody in public life knows you take an oath to uphold the laws to protect the citizens of your community, not protect the illegals that are in your community. And in this case, we're targeting the criminally illegal aliens, and everybody knows it. So for her to do this, it's just unconscionable that she would have done this.
And there are no, we always hear these talks of like Gestapo type ICE raids on communities, even in sanctuary cities or states. That never happens. It's when you have a good authority or good reason to believe that suspicious individuals are there, right?
Well, that's correct. And Neil, we're focusing on, President Trump is clearly focusing on the criminally illegal aliens, wants us focusing on them. And so these are people that we have information about that we're looking for that are a danger to our society. And this is exactly what you would hope every elected official would be working with and helping our federal, state, and local partners do.
Where is all of this going, though? I mean, when you're trying to do your job, I think it was a mayor in Somerville, Massachusetts, who said that you're acting like a thug. How do you respond to that? Where do you go with that, Sheriff?
Well, where I go with it is, look, I don't ever believe that anybody that's enforcing the laws, and that might be why the mayor's confused. The thugs are the people we're looking for. The people that are enforcing the laws like myself and insisting that mayors or anyone else who decides to harbor or conceal someone they know to be illegal under federal law, it's a felony, punishable up to 5 years per alien. Those are the people that really are the problem, not those of us who took an oath and made a promise to the people that we would enforce our laws.
But isn't it weird, Sheriff, that you're the bad guy in this? I mean, I'm not characterizing it that way, but the way it's portrayed and the way certainly this representative said it and others and the Somerville mayor and others, you're the bad guy for doing your job or trying to crack down on this sort of thing.
Those are all sort of red herrings. Those are ways to deflect things away from the real issue, which is we are a country of laws. We must enforce those laws to guarantee the protections to our people, our citizens, and our legal residents who are here. So if a mayor wants to suggest that by my doing that and my fellow law enforcement officers insisting that we're not going to go back on our promise, we're not going to undermine our oath, that makes us thugs, well, you know what? I don't really much care how he labels it. What he needs to do is he needs to be very careful and look within himself and explain to people why he's thinking that he should be treated differently than the constituents that elected him when it comes to being held accountable to the standards of violating laws.
These representatives in any capacity are the ones breaking the law, though, aren't they?
Well, there's no question about it. If you're harboring or concealing people, who are you really representing? The people, I believe, and most people in Massachusetts across this nation, elect people to represent their interests because they are law-abiding people who are doing the right thing and want to be protected and have their families protected and their interests protected. And so who are these elected officials really representing, Neil? That's the question.
Yeah, it's wild. Sheriff Thomas Hodgson, Bristol County, Massachusetts. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thanks for having me, Neil. Great to be here.
Same here.